Hi, so this is a review of my 511 military boot. This is the 511 Atlas boot. They come out with various other designs also. And so this is the Atlas boot. Now 511, as many of you will be aware, is a manufacturer based out of the US, or the company is based out of the US, but they manufacture mostly now I find in Bangladesh, or used to manufacture in Bangladesh. Prior to that, they used to manufacture in China. And now with the present situation, I don't know where they'll be manufacturing next. But the quality has been decently okay. Uh, 511 generally comes out with clothing and footwear for EMS, that is emergency medical services, law enforcement, and the military. But slowly they're also trying to become a lifestyle or a mainstream lifestyle brand, which can be seen in the kind of clothing that they are now coming out with. So this is a 511 Atlas boot. I had the ATAX before, and before that, or after that, I had the same Atlas boot in black color, and so this is now the desert version of the same boot. So coming on to the boot, this is the side view, this is the front, this is again the side, the rear, and side and front. So I really like the design of this boot, and that probably is the reason that I purchased it again. I like that the heel counter is well designed and it actually holds your heel in place. I like that the sole is not too much in your face. It's kind of minimalistic, and you'll notice that the heel to toe drop is also very less, which is always more comforting to my feet at least. Also, you will find that the design is more classic. It doesn't have too much happening on the design front. It's got a decent sole to it. Coming on to the outsole, this is the only place where I have a gripe with this boot. The other parts are all okay. So this is a rubber outsole. This entire portion is all rubber outsole. So it's a rubber outsole. It's got decently spread out lugs, and should not be holding on to mud easily, but it does hold on to pebbles. I find that pebbles do at times get stuck in between the lugs, but that is not a huge problem. They can always be removed. The problem that I find with the sole design is this pattern of design with these thin strips in the lugs. Now these thin strips, when they come in contact with the rock surface and all your weight comes onto that, I do not think that this specific lug design will last too long. The ones on the side are okay, even these small ones here. So these small lug designs, I think they are too small and too narrow and may not take a lot of abuse. But apart from that, the sole does feel decent. It has a very rubbery feel to it, which is always good. So it does have decent amount of traction. But because of the spread out lug design, you will also find that in the indoors it doesn't have too much of traction. In the outdoors it has very decent traction. Only thing is that this should not break off. In the middle segment where the arch is, it also has these protrusions coming out for some additional grip. In the front, the outsole does come up a little bit onto the toe. On the side also it comes up a bit, and on the inside also it comes up decently. At the rear it doesn't really come up. Now this material is the midsole. Now the midsole on this boot is EVA. It's a EVA Phylon. It does give decent amount of cushioning and compression, but is more on the firm side. And now I realize that I like a slightly firm boot more than a very soft boot. It makes my feet feel more stable, and most likely or more likely, I think it also keeps knee pain away in comparison to very soft boots. It's also got a insole on the inside. It's again a EVA insole, so it's got three layers: a rubber outsole, a EVA midsole, and a insole on the inside, which is EVA. It doesn't have any Ortholite branding, but is again EVA. So in addition to this three layers to the sole, it also has a fiber shank on the inside, and the fiber shank actually runs the entire length of the boot. And that is the unique feature of the Atlas lineup of boots. So the shank is a fiber shank, it's plastic, and it actually runs the entire length of the boot, and I can just take out the insole from inside, and underneath it is the shank. I can remove the shank and again put the insole back inside, and then this boot will become much more softer. As of now it is slightly rigid because of the shank inside, so here I can remove the shank and the boot will become softer or will bend slightly more easier. So that is one feature of this boot, and 511 sells that feature, saying that if you want to carry loads, you can have the shank inside. If you do not intend to carry loads and want a lighter feeling boot, then you can just remove the shank and use the boot without it. So that is another feature of the boot. Now coming on to the upper, the leather on this boot is all large pieces of leather, and on the inside they've given leather where it might come in contact with a rope, but on the outside they've given synthetic to keep the weight down and also to allow with certain amount of breathability. I find that the leather quality on this boot is quite decent. Then it's got standard eyelets for the laces. These are metallic eyelets, and it has this synthetic loop to hold the ankles in place, and again on top it's got metallic eyelets. Nothing wrong with these work perfectly fine. Again, if you look at the boot, it actually has the shape of a normal human foot. It doesn't have too much happening. It looks very minimalistic, and that is what I like about the boot. It does have a zip on the inside, and this is a plastic, so it's not a metallic zip, it's a plastic zip, but these do not break. I've used these on other boots before. I have a similar boot in black also. The zip does not fail. So majorly the upper of the boot, this is a 8 inches boot. The shaft of the boot is all synthetic, as you can see. So this is all synthetic portion. This is all leather portion. So this is all synthetic. It's got some 511 branding, but it's all color coordinated. It doesn't stand out, is what I like. It's got some tags. Okay, so the insole on this is also Ortholite. They have that Ortholite branding for the insole to give it comfort. And then it's got this 511 tag also. This boot is a UK size 10, a US 11, and a Europe 45. So normally a Europe 45 is a UK 10.5, but with 511, a UK 10 is a EU 45. But that said, the sizing is just about slightly larger, but not that much also. So you'll have to be very careful when you purchase these boots. Please try and err on the positive side. Don't try and go short. But yes, normally a UK 10, again for reference, a UK 10.5 is a 45. So here a UK 10 is a 45. The boots again are made in Bangladesh. Nothing wrong with the construction quality. I find that on the inside it does have this mesh material on the inside. With this mesh material does help with perspiration and with some amount of air circulation. These are not waterproof boots. They do not have any Gore-Tex lining on the inside, but that is to be expected with these boots. So these boots do seem to be pretty decent. Only another gripe which I have with this boot is that the stitching here in this area should have been avoided. Probably the stitches could have been here and go like this, because this is also a flexion point. When you're walking with this boot, most of the flexion will happen in this area, and that might lead to a tear in the stitching or in the leather per se, because that is a flexion point. So that remains to be seen. I hope that doesn't happen. It would have been better if the laces would have still come up till this point, but the leather piece would have been cut this way on both sides, so as to negate that point of failure. Again, the EV on this is on the firm side, which I like. Am I happy with the boots? Yes, I'm happy with the boots and hope that they do last a long time. 511 Atlas, thank you.